Hi, it's Anne. Thanks for stopping by. Different kind of video today, no real project, but I've had some folks comment on a few little techniques that I've done recently, and I thought I would just kind of throw them together. This is going to be a video with a couple of hacks and one interesting little tip. I think these are all things that will be useful to you in your paper crafting life. Let's start with what we're going to do with some sandpaper. You can use sandpaper. This is a sanding block. This has seen a lot of use on woodworking out in the Kenland garage. Any kind of gritty paper or a sanding block will work for this. What we're going to do is we're going to take a magazine page and we're going to create a new pattern on some of the colorful images here. I mentioned this in a video that I did with some collaging. I guess it was just last week, and several people said, "Oh, that looks really cool. I'll have to try that." And I hadn't even planned to do a video on it, but I thought I would. Let me get a section that's really solid first. What I'm going to do with this, and I saw somebody else do this, I'm going to take a stencil, just an ordinary plastic stencil, and put it underneath this sort of solid area of this magazine page, and then I'm just going to sand it. This is so easy. You're going to want to put a lot of pressure where you're sanding. My almost 8-year-old grandson did this with great results. You can do it too. And this is something that you can use as background on a collage. What you're doing is you're literally sanding away the top surface of that printed page, and you're revealing what's underneath. Isn't that great? Let me try another one. Here's a very disreputable looking alphabet stencil. There's just no end to what you can reveal here, and we're still leaving that fine little fox there for some sort of other purpose. How great is that? You can get out any of your stencils and just do some really fun sanding. Be prepared to wipe down your surface because there's a lot of grit that will come off. Yeah, look at my hand right there. But it's just amazing. You don't need a very heavy touch at all. I wanted to see what if you didn't have any stencils, or you didn't have any that you wanted to use, but you wanted to try this technique. Let's try it with another page. I'm eager to rip these up and use them in collage. I think they'll look great. There's something that works really nice with the magazine page too. What if you didn't have a stencil? I bet you have a leaf. I bet you can find a leaf. Let me choose this section out of a quilting magazine, and I'm going to put this dried leaf right underneath here and see if that works. It needs a little bit more pressure. There, you can see it's coming through a little bit. This colored section isn't really big enough for it to look all that great, so maybe I'll see if I can find, maybe it'll be better underneath this sky. I'm kind of holding the leaf in place. I can tell that the stem is down here. Yeah. So there's sort of an interesting pattern there. This is a thinner magazine page, so it looks like I'm literally sanding a hole in there. So you'll use it where where it seems to make sense for you to do so. Let me go back to the other side of this and go back to that stencil, because maybe the stencil is a little more gentle on the paper than the leaf. Or maybe it just depends on your magazine page. Oh, doesn't that look nice? I think those are fun little pieces that just a little bit ripped up could really make give some nice interest to one of your collage pages or your master boards. Let's set this aside and we'll get on to the next tip. Oh, I am gonna wipe this down though. There we go. Lots of little bits that get sanded off there. Okay. Save the sanding block for another day. The other little tip, this is more of a hack that I want to share with you. Do you ever have reason, this is a tiny little little tag with a tiny little hole. Do you ever have trouble getting your lace or ribbon or yarn toppers through a small hole like that in the top of a tag? Is it hard for you to thread things through? Maybe you have eye problems. Maybe you have dexterity issues. Maybe it's just a pain to do it. Here's a way that you can make threading something through those tag holes easier. If you have children or grandchildren with orthodontia, you probably have seen these. These are little dental floss threaders, or also called floss loops. They're extremely inexpensive on Amazon, and they're little, they're easy to lose. They're little doubled over pieces of dental floss. Oh gosh, my hands are dirty. And they're melded together down here. Those with dental work use them to get into the nooks and crannies, but they're also really great for threading. I might want to come in a little bit closer here. There we go. You can see that a little bit better. What you do if you want to get something through, thread something through a hole like that, you can use this, putting the fused end through the hole just a little bit. And then let's say we wanted to put this little piece of lace through here. We thread that. Whoops. Thread that through the loop. It might fall out like mine just did, but that's okay. We can just do it again. And that piece of lace is just going to follow that threader all the way through. And you have put it through there. What if you wanted it doubled up? You can do that easily too. Whatever direction you want your lace to go through, you put this fused end of this little gizmo through there too. Well, it keeps wanting to flop out, but you're getting the idea here. I'm going to put this loop through here, and there we go. If you have any kind of issues that make it challenging for you to thread anything through a small hole, that'll do it for you. And these, I will tell you, it's a good thing these things come in cases, because they are very easy to use, or easy to lose and easy to use. I've used these floss loops for years in sewing, not to thread needles so much, but I have a serger, and there's lots of sort of internal workings of the serger that really make it difficult to thread, and these have been really useful to me. I've had this for years and years and years, even before I was doing paper crafts. So extremely inexpensive. Let's look at another way that you can use these. Let's say that I wanted to put some yarn through, this is a little shank button. Occasionally I like to have a button on the back of a tag and put some yarn through it, particularly when we're getting into the cozy time of year. But it's hard to put yarn through the shank of a button, and these come in really handy. I'm not certain this will accommodate 2 strands of yarn, but we'll see, won't we? There we go. Easily done. And now I'm just going to tie this and have a nice little topper on this tag. All made possible by our friend, the floss threader. Isn't that handy? Get some, put them in a place, put them away carefully because they will get up and run away on their own. But, you know, you'll have plenty left over. I'm going to put this here. Floss threaders. I enjoy those. The third little hack that I wanted to share with you, you know, we like to use every scrap of paper. What if we're doing a bunch of punches? Do you ever have, you see a little scrap, you think, oh gosh, this, you know, it would be so great just to have, you know, punch a little heart out of this, but it's, I can't stick it in there. I can't stick it in. It's just too small. I think I'll throw it away. You do not have to do that. You just grab another little scrap of something off of a junk mail flyer or some sort of paper that's fairly stiff, and put just a little dab of glue on the side. And you have created a magic wand. And this now lets you put that little scrap of paper into your punch in a way that you could not reach before. Isn't that handy? I love this tip. It's just so easy. And then, you know, you just peel this right off and you can use it again. What if we had, here was a circle out of that same paper that was 2 inches. Yeah, this is a 2-inch circle. What if I had the terrible dilemma of wanting to turn that 2-inch circle into a 1 3/4 inch circle, because that's the next size down punch that I have. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to glue this right on the tip here, because if this was just by itself, I wouldn't be able to get it to correctly into that opening. But with the magic wand, I can do so. So here's the 2-inch circle. There we go. Now it's 1 1/2, or I'm sorry, 1 3/4. And there's just that little bit left over. But it was really easy to get it centered in there so I could get my new size punch made. Looks like this was just a little not centered, but that's okay. That's going to work fine. So use your magic wand. Use your floss threaders, and use your sanding block, and open up all kinds of fun new possibilities for yourself. See you soon, guys. Bye-bye.